Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you so much for your subscription. And today, you know what? This is a day where I think I would love to start our practice off standing for the 45-minute practice. Sometimes grounding yourself and standing in the stability of your own being and feeling your mountain pose is the essential part of the practice. So let us stand into Tadasana, and if you'd like, you can move your mat sideways because we're going to be doing a lot of side from left to right angled poses. And so having your two wooden blocks or whatever blocks you have, as well as a yoga strap, is quite beneficial. So let's get started. Make sure you have a bolster and a blanket for the end of the 45-minute practice because I'd like to unwind. And I'll be honest with you, it is snowing out. It's snowing out. It's a little chilly, and Tyson's been a little bit of a barking dog even during my meditation. So hopefully you'll realize that all distractions are going to be there. There's no control of things outside of you, but what you do have control of is your own presence of being. So come to stand at the top of your mat or in the middle of your mat because I have my mat sideways and I'm going to be in my mountain pose. So mountain pose is grounding through the 4 points of your feet, whether they're equally standing together, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, or hip distance, or even shoulder distance if you feel more stability there. It is all preference. You do you. So start to bend and sway your hips and roll your shoulders and stretch your arms up. Oh, my hands are getting cut off from the video, aren't they? You know what? I didn't move the camera far enough back, but that's okay. So just really feeling the roots of the 4 points of your feet, really inviting that stability, that foundation. And remember that when we journey into this amazing world called our lives, we want to be able to put one foot in front of the other, and that's really hankering down through your root chakras, and that's what today's practice is about. So once you find the footing that you would like to stabilize yourself in for your mountain pose, start to roll your shoulders back, knit the belly button in. And if it's in your practice to close your eyes, turning your palms forward, spreading your fingers just enough, rolling your shoulders back, lengthening through the crown of the head, just take a moment just to breathe in that, that stability, that space. Just taking a few moments here just to really feel all that you are. You are the mountain. You are the roots. You are the mountain top tip. You are all parts. Let's bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, which means of the heart, courage of the heart. And in that space, whatever it is that you're here on the mat to invite into your being, your realm, may you know that that is, you have everything you need inside of you. It's just sometimes we're asking the universe to remind us, to clear some of the stuff out, to give you a sense of presence and being, to know that you are already awesome. So with our hands at our heart center, let us begin a beautiful sound of Om from that gut and send it out into the universe. And as the universal sound of Om is, everything vibrates on that sound. So let's begin with one big beautiful Om. Take a deep breath in. Fantastic. Slowly release your arms down by your side. Roll the shoulders. I'm just going to turn sideways. We're going to do a little standing postural movement of just inhaling, sweeping the arms up towards the sky, exhaling, sinking your hips back into a chair that's not there, and just feeling that, and then inhaling your arms back up again. So just like that. Doing that several more times at your own pace, exhaling, hinging back. Make sure your bum goes way back like you're sitting in a chair that's not there, and your knees do not surpass your toes. Taking your arms up overhead when you inhale. So go many times at your own pace, however that may feel. Don't be afraid to dance around and really feel the lower back. So really knitting in the belly button to establish that core strength of yours. Yeah. Make sounds if that feels good to you. 3 more rounds at your own pace. Feel the stability of your legs rooting down through the 4 points of both feet. If you're done, just do 1 more maybe. Invite that in, rising up. If you're already there, exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. Good. Just had to do a side profile so you know how important it is to sink your hips back. Now let's start to take our feet nice and wide so that you're on your mat this way. And start to hinge at your knees, turn your toes outwardly, and just rock and roll around in your pelvis and just noticing that energy through your hips. Sinking your bum backwards in space, inviting that rock and roll from side to side. Fantastic. And then start to sink your hips down. Open up your knees as bright as you can in the direction of your toes. A lot of us have tight inner thigh muscles. I understand. This is about you being you. It's not about looking a certain way. This is your shape. As long as you can sink your hips and bounce around a little bit, rock from heel to heel, feeling the 4 points of your feet, rolling the shoulders back. Let's invite the arms up now. I always think of a monkey when I do this. Swaying your arms from side to side, and then just bending your elbows as you sink and bend your knees, and then inhale your arms up. Just like that. And do that several more times at your own pace. Let it be sound. Don't be afraid to wiggle around and adjust your body. Yeah, this is you. As much as I'm your yoga guide, and I'll say this in every episode, you are still meant to do you. Haha. Good, 1 more though. Sink your hips nice and back in space. Back in space like there's a chair there. Now let's take the right forearm onto the right thigh. Open up through the left knee. So you're going to press that left knee open. Sink your chest a little bit forward, then roll that left shoulder back and open up your chest towards the left knee. 3 more breaths here. Lift and spread the toe pad so the balls of your feet are anchored down. Inner thighs, I know. Can you lift your chest up more? 2 more breaths. Ooh, I can feel those inner thighs. And then root to rise. Inhale, come nice and tall, standing through the extension of those hips. Good. Exhale, sink your hips back in space. Rock and roll. Don't be afraid to dance it. Left forearm, palm up. Spread your fingers. Right hand into the right knee. Roll the right shoulder back. Lift your chest up as much as you can for 5, for 4, 3, 2, root to rise, inhale, nice and tall. Yes, exhale, release your arms down by your side. Heel toe, your feet at least shoulder distance apart. Take your hands behind your back and integrate your fingers behind your back. Roll the head of your arm bones back. See if you get your thumb out of your bum. So a lot of you do not have that ability yet. So taking your yoga strap and holding that yoga strap and pulling it taut so that you can bring your inner elbows in, thumbs out of the bum, broadening in the collarbone to your best ability. And just taking this for a couple of breath rounds. Getting those shoulders back, so important. We get stuck in that forward fold, so get those arms back. Get them back, you're fine. This is all about recovery, slowing down and noticing what you need to do. Good. 2 more breaths. I like to dance around. I'm like dancing around. Shoulders are back. Good. And then release the strap. Release your hands. Once again, take your feet nice and wide, turning the toes outwardly, and start to dance in the pelvis once again. Good. This time, let's take the right forearm down, take the left arm back. So we open up the shoulder a little bit. Can you open up that left knee and then reach that left arm back, bend at that left elbow, and even invite that left hand somewhere to the back of the skull if that's in your practice, or just keep on moving that left arm back. Spread your fingers for 5, for 4, 3, keep your right shoulder externally rotating, 2, and then stand nice and tall and go, wow, yeah. Exhale, hinge in both knees, left forearm, right hand can press that right knee open, and then when you're ready, you're going to invite that right arm up. So whether you need to shorten up your stance, playfully, see if you could take it into a back bend. Remember, this is not about, getting a job at Cirque du Soleil. This is about you feeling what you need to feel in the moment. So if it's a tiny movement, let it be tiny. Feel the breath in your body. Maybe that right hand goes behind your head for 2. And then inhale, root to rise, shine it all the way up. Exhale and release. Yeah. Heel toe, your feet back together, hip distance or shoulder distance. Once again, integrate your fingers behind your back or use that yoga strap. You decide. So really getting the heart lifted. Shoulders are back. Feel that energy. Today we're just taking it nice and easy as far as like standing in the 4 points of our feet, lifting and opening up the chest, knit the belly button in, lengthen the tailbone down. So whatever that looks like for you, use your yoga strap for 5, for 4, get that breath moving, for 3, for 2, oh my goodness, yeah, and then releasing those arms, rolling your head around. Good, now this time make sure you have your wood blocks or your blocks handy. Once again, separating your feet nice and wide, but this time we're going to turn the right toes in the direction lengthwise of your mat. Bending in that knee, turn the left toes in, lengthen both legs, roll the left hip forward, then bend into your right knee. Slide your yoga block right beside that right foot or not. Maybe you could touch the floor. But join your forearm to your shin. Roll the left hip forward and start to bend and extend at that right knee and extend through the crown of the head. So we're playing in the side angle and triangle postures. So adjusting your back left foot so that you can feel that you have stability. That's so important. Now we're going to invite that chest opened up towards the sky as you bend and extend through your right leg. So if you need to be up higher on your yoga block, make sure you have stability. Playfully open up through the left shoulder. So a lot of people I've noticed, they would just touch the floor and they want to get there because they're not doing yoga unless their hands on the floor. Meanwhile, they're struggling. They can't get their chest open. So even if you are not able to hold your block because the block isn't high enough, take your right forearm onto your right thigh and you could play in your triangle and your side angle by opening your chest towards the sky. So the whole point of this is to open up your heart towards the sky for 5 more breaths, just really exploring where do you need the support. It's not about competition, the old dogma. Playfully opening up through that chest of yours for 2 more breaths. Did I say 2 more breaths already? Play with it. Roll the left hip forward, tuck the right hip under, open up your chest. It's a back bend. Yeah, good. Root to rise, inhale, come all the way up. Heel toe, your feet at least hip distance apart. Little rock and roll in the hips. Sweep your arms once again around behind you. So if your elbows, you're not able to get your elbows in pulling a taut strap, then that's where you want to use your strap. So if you're winging out your elbows like this, you want to be able to draw your elbows in and pull the yoga strap taut is what I was meaning to say. Or interlace fingers, elbows in, hug them in towards the midline so the chest opens up for 5. Feel where you're at for 4. Move your face around if you need to for 3. This is such great work. Good. And then when you're ready to release. Take your feet nice and wide. Make sure you have your second block for the other side of your mat. I'm just going to go from side to side. Turn your left toes in the direction of the front of that mat. Right toes turn in. Heel toe, and make sure that that left foot is right up against the block or your left hand. Start to roll that right hip forward. Draw the left hip back, extend through the crown of the head, and dance in the bending and extending of that left leg. Mine are feeling cranky today. So inviting that lengthening through the crown of the head. We did our leaves yesterday before the snowfall, thank goodness. So opening yourself up. Finding that bending and that extending of the left leg. What do you need to do to support yourself? Do you need a higher block? Or is that left forearm on your left thigh? So you're rolling your right hip forward, you're tucking the left butt cheek under, and you're playfully now opening up through the right arm. What does that feel like for you? Keep the breath fluid. that in breath opens you up. I almost fell backwards there. That out breath releases toxins. And remember, this is about you not pushing yourself. Oh, if I could get everyone just to slow down and be exactly where they need to be in their shape, the world would be that much better of a place because we'd be kinder to ourselves. So triangle and side angle. We've done this in many episodes before this, so just reminding yourself the importance of those. Oh yeah, beautiful for 5. For 4, extending through the crown of the head. Make sure your head's not dropping down. For 3. Oh, open up that chest of yours. Move your neck around. Good. And then when you're ready to root to rise, inhale. Up you go. Heel toe your feet. Reaching your arms up. Exhale your arms down by your side. Feeling all that juicy hip stuff, huh? Good. Shake it out. And then once again, we're going to turn our toes back out. A little goddess pose. Hug, like think about this. When you turn your toes out, your inner thighs are like going cranky. So don't push it. So you're hugging in from the peripheral into the very core of your pelvis. See if you can lean back in your hips a little bit. Right forearm down onto the right thigh, left hand into the left knee. Open up through that left arm. Wield that left arm around. Keep your right shoulder rolling back. 2 more breaths. It's a lot of leg stuff today. Wow, lift and spread your toes if you can. Inhale, root to rise, shine up. Exhale, hinge, goddess pose, left forearm, right arm reaches out and about. So even if you need to take your right hand inside your knee, you play, you do you for 3. Open up that chest for 2. Good, and then root to rise, inhale, shine it up. Exhale, heel toe, your feet hip distance apart. Find the roots of the 4 points of your feet. I'm just gonna turn sideways. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink your hips back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Keep it moving. We're really just inviting ourselves to feel those flexors and those extensors of the pelvis that normally sometimes we just get stuck in one static position. 2 more of those at your own pace. Beautiful. Feel that energy. 1 more. And then inhale, shine it all the way up. Exhale to Anjali Mudra. Fantastic. This next one, take your right foot forward, your left foot back, turn your left toes in, side angle position. In that side angle, block or no block, make sure your right forearm is smooth up against your right shin and that you are able to plant your fingers and your toes in the same direction. Roll the left hip forward and then now think about this. Exaggerate through the crown of the head so you're looking past the tip of your mat. Start to wave the left arm open underneath your right knee crease and then up towards the sky for 5 of those. Just really feeling all of that energy in your waist. Yeah, so it's kind of like a cat-cow, but in a side angle variation. You've got it. Oh, open up, open up, open up. Now stay there. And then let's do this. Let's reach out through the right arm and then reach back through the left arm. Rise up, straighten your right leg, and then take a moment to bend that right knee again and turn your torso to face the very center of your pelvis. Warrior 2 position. So readjust that back left foot and then engage in the balls of your right foot. Lift your right heel up. Open up your chest and reach your arms back behind you. Strap or no strap. Okay, remember that. We're opening up the chest today. So Warrior 2, oh, it's such a big position. So lower your right heel once again and then open up that left shoulder back, bend deeper into your right knee, draw that left hip in, back, so that you're inner spiraling your thighs. This waist right here. So tone the belly button in and lift up through the side waist here. Oh, that was a big one. So turning towards the back left side. Release your hands from beneath your back or behind your back, strap or no strap, and then reach your right arm palm up. Keep on bending into your right knee and extend out through the left arm and for 5 breaths. Just really dance it here. Roll that left hip forward. Feeling what you're feeling. Can you open up your chest a little bit more? Even lift your right heel for 2. Oh, there you go. And then exhale, release, straighten your right leg, heel toe your toes in towards each other. A little shake and rattle and roll. And when you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale up. Just like that. You've got it. 2 more of those because it feels so good. And you know my whispery sounds of exhalation, really important to let it go. Inhale up, release your arms. If I say 2 more and I do 4 more, oh well. Okay, let's do the other side. So when you turn your left toes towards that very center part of your mat, turn your right toes in, bend into the knee, find your side angle position. So whether you need to adjust your feet and your hands on your blocks, you get into it. So it's that right hip rolling forward, that left hip tucking under, and make sure your foot is in line with your block or the edge of your mat. You decide if you're using a block or not. Then from there, oh yeah, find that side angle position. Allow yourself to open up. Open up. It's a practice. Good. Feel the roots of your feet. You feel secure. And then we're going to inhale, reach that right arm up, left arm out in front of you. And this is where I like to release my hands to my hips, straighten the left leg, adjust my back foot so that I feel secure in my foundation, and then start to lift the left heel so we're able to get deeper into the inner thigh muscles. Stick your bum back in space like you're going to lean forward, then rise up. Reach your arms wherever you can to get your arms to open up. Just like that. Sink your hips a little lower. Sometimes it takes a lot of adjusting. And then open up your chest. So think about that. Maybe take your hands behind your back with that yoga strap or no strap. Can you open up your chest so it's facing forward in line with your hips? So there's a lot of turning towards the back right edge of your mat. So I almost fall over. So really anchoring through the outer edge of your right foot. Toes are turned in. Lots of cueing, lots of adjusting. Even lift that left heel. And then when you're ready, reach your arms out nice and bright. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana Dui. And then let's exalt it. Take that left arm up towards the sky, palm faces the back towards the right. And then allow that right hip moves back as you engage your inner thighs. And maybe that right arm reaches the back of your leg. And just play with it for 5. Find your exalted warrior for 4. For 3. Keep on rolling that right hip forward. For 2. Oh, keep that left knee over the ankle. Good. And then inhale, shine it all the way up. Heel toe, your feet at least hip distance apart. And once again, when you're ready, you can inhale, rise it up, exhale, get into those hips. 2 more of those. And another. Oh my goodness. And then rising all the way up, exhale, roll the shoulders back. Enjoy, enjoy. And once again, facing forward, heel toe. Your feet as wide as you feel comfortable. Turn your toes back out. Your hips, you're going to feel this one tomorrow. Back into the goddess pose. So reach your arms up, straighten your legs, and then exhale, bending your knees and your elbows. Turn your palms to face towards your head if that feels comfortable, or forward. And that'll be your exhale, and then inhale, shine it up. And go, my hissy sounds. You go at your own pace. Feel that energy. Oh yeah, let's get into those hips. Let's groove those hips. Wake up our foundation. Some days are a little bit more challenging than others. I understand. Oh, 2 more of those. You can move your face around as I do. Dance your hips if you need to. Good. Inhale, shine those arms all the way up. Heel toe your feet at least hip distance apart. And you're starting to feel all that, right? Good. So now let's come to the front of the mat. Find your mountain pose, and we'll forward fold, and we'll start to make our way down to the mat. Inhale, shine your arms up. Exhale, hinge, forward fold, all the way down, this time into Uttanasana. Woo! Let your hips, let your knees bend, let your bum blossom back, let your head go. If you need belly and boobie space for your boobies and your girls, then bring your knees nice and broad. Rock and roll here. Good. And then inhale onto your finger pads or both of your yoga blocks. Actually, I need to bring that block forward now. So don't be afraid to walk around in your practice. I've been doing this for so long that I realize that people are just get stuck in patterns and paradigms. Rock back and forth on the balls of your feet and your heels. Keep your heart lifting. The whole thing about being us ascending or growing and expanding, it's about us really being real with ourselves, being the sovereign self. See how I'm rocking on my heels, keeping my bum blossoming, lifting the heels, standing on the balls of your feet. You could squat your hips a little bit more. That's awesome. Yeah, back and forth. Good. On our next exhalation, let's forward fold as deeply as we can. Land your hands as wide as your mat. Let your head go. Let your head go, and then begin to step one foot, then the other foot back into a downward facing dog position. Now, readjust your hands so they're as wide as your yoga mat. Lift your heels up, bend your knees, blossom your bum, and let your head go. So really important part of our downward dog is that our upper arms are externally rotating, and that's a challenge for most people. I watch them deeply. So turn your elbow creases to face more your index finger and your thumb. That's a big one. So bring your shoulders more forward. Then from there, bend your knees and lift your hips up. And then move your heart without your elbow creases facing each other. Oh, that's a big one. Can you keep on turning your elbow creases to face your thumb and your index finger that are suctioning cup the floor? So it might look like you're here. That's okay. If you're able to fully flex your arms, make sure you're not cheating yourself and that your elbow creases are still facing and turning towards the thumbs. That's a lot of shoulder stuff. Good. 2 more breaths in your downward facing dog, and it can be shortened like mine is. And then on your next exhalation, when you're ready, let's slowly bring the shoulders over the wrists and then hover the knees about 1 inch or 2 from the floor. So look at that. You're in a tabletop, but knit the belly button in. Feel that the wrists are in full extension. I understand for those that have wrist issues, I need to hear from you if you want some answers for those. And then exhale the knees to the mat. Plantar, flex your feet and sit back on your shins. Big breath in. Letting go breath out. Make it fiery. Good. Now from here, I'm going to face you. You face me too. Let's take our right heel in front of the pubis for a moment and take the left leg out in front. Just like that. Now, let's start to tuck the right knee in front of the pelvis, just like that. Now, you may need your blocks, bolsters, and blankets. Please have them handy. Most often have them around you so you can grab them. Take your left foot all the way over top of that right thigh. Yeah, there you go. Now hold that right foot that's underneath with your left hand, and then start to lift your bum up and see if you could squeeze your legs more on top of each other. Some of you may be able to sit completely on the floor with your bum. Some of you may need to sit on a block. We're going to gingerly take that right foot out more forward as we find, I call it eagle legs or twizzled legs. So again, if that position is not happening for you because it's way too much of an opening for the pelvis at this time, your hips are not there yet, that's fine. Pick up your left knee and your left foot and start to wield it around, meaning holding it with left hand, right hand, whatever you want to, but move that hip around because that's where your practice is. And just because those that have their knees stacked and their feet are moving away from the hips and you're able to sit down, whether it be on a block or a bolster or blanket, doesn't make them more enlightened than you. It just means that their range of motion and flexibility is different. Does that make sense? So play with your hips right now. So this is a lot of like, ooh. If this were a cartoon and there were clouds coming out of my hips going, ugh. It's like, ooh. So playfully find your hips and allow yourself to move into the full extension of those muscles. Dorsiflexing your feet towards your kneecaps. Again, you could be holding that left foot. And a lot of people, I notice when they start holding their foot because their foot isn't able to cross over, they get like this, complacent. Like they're not a part of the yoga practice. You're in your sovereign self going, yes! Okay, this is where my work's at. I understand now. I get it. I get it. That's where I'm meant to be, right? Right there. Those that are with their legs twizzled, maybe you can bring a forward fold into your practice. Maybe that's your practice because we're going to be here for a bit. Maybe you can lift your heart. Maybe your forearms come all the way down onto the floor. Your knees are sandwiched together. Your feet are dorsiflexed. If I said plantar flex, I meant dorsiflexed. Heels away from your hips. And you're breathing and you're feeling all of those gluteal flesh muscles opening up as well as your quadriceps and your hamstrings. No pushing, no shoving. Where are you for the next 10 breaths? Close your eyes and be where you are meant to be exactly. Whew. Feeling your hips. Another 3 more breaths. Invite that space to be you. You're not fighting, you're not pushing, you're not shoving, you're just being you. Good. When you're ready, let's all of us lean back and extend the legs out in front. Take a moment with your knees bent and just find the front of your knees with your hands and sit up as tall as you can. So you're rolling your shoulders back and inviting that length of your spine. Okay, good. A couple of breaths there. So a lot of times the yoga practice is about being present in the moment. That's what it is about. Good. Left heel goes in towards your perineum. Taking your right leg, crossing and moving that right hip. And then eventually we're going to move that left knee more central in front of the hip, in front of the pelvis, in front of the pubis, and then land your right foot over towards the left, and then holding your feet with hands so that your feet are dorsiflex, lift your bum up, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your hips as you sandwich your knees together, and maybe you're able to sit down. Again, I don't find the block, sitting on the block is helpful. I find it just too uncomfortable. You can fold a blanket and you can totally press or take the blanket underneath your left sitting bone, the one that's already on the floor, and allow that your right hip starts to hang down. Does that make sense? You'll figure it out. So dorsiflex your feet and allow that your hips find an equal balance. And again, if your hips are really tight, like this one is very tight today, from raking all those leaves yesterday, I can pick up my right leg and hold the right heel of the knee and playfully move it around. So sitting up as tall as you are able to, lifting up through the sternum of the chest, no matter what position you're in, with your feet actively in dorsiflexion. So it doesn't matter what position you're in, activate your feet, spread your toes. I can't express enough of how important it is to spread your toes in any practice. Feel what you're feeling. Notice what you're noticing. If you are in ego legs, your legs are completely in Garandasana, then moving into a forward fold might be your option, or staying nice and tall. Closing your eyes and going into the space of the mind's eye and fully belly breathing is the option for everybody. So no matter where you're at in this, belly breathe. Get right into that belly breath. Keep your spine elongated. Keep your mindfulness in the attention of dorsiflex feet, spread toes, full breath into the diaphragm. Giving yourself all of that permission to be you, dancing in between maybe the postures as I'm doing, because sometimes you can get a little bit into the full ego legs, Garandasana legs, and sometimes you're just kind of like happy just to take it out and move it around. But feel, sit up tall. Close your eyes for another 10 more breaths wherever you are. Yoga recovery is not about how fast you move through things or if you put your foot behind your head. It's about, am I aware of those stepping stones? It's like a brick layer. When they lay the bricks, if that one layer isn't sitting right, it's going to wreck the whole foundation of all the layers of bricks on top. So you got to really set your foundation so that everything is evenly balanced. And that is where humans need to learn patience, presence in everything they create in each moment, because this moment leads to the next moment. So be present. Notice where you're able to set yourself up for success first, then move forward. 4 more breaths. We'll extend this one for 3. I'm just dancing this one around for 2. Good. And when you're ready to unwind, undo, lean back, take out that right foot and that left foot, land them in front of you, and take a moment just to sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. I'm going to turn sideways for you and take the hands back so you see what we're doing here. I'm going to take the hands back so the fingers are turned away and the elbows are hugging in towards the midline and the shoulders are rolling back and the chest lifts up. Walk your feet far enough away so that you can get into that lift of your heart. Good. Then let your left knee externally rotate. Take your left foot up off the mat and see if you could take that left foot to the top of your right quad. Keep your chest lifted, keep your neck nice and long so it's not tilting back in extension or in flexion. So a little windshield wipe. Yeah, those are still your hips. So I'm going to face forward so you see what it looks like that. Just like that. And then the next thing is going to land that left foot all the way on the right thigh, and then get that left sitting bone down and grab a hold of your left knee. So if having your left foot on the right thigh doesn't work for you, bring it out in front of the shin. Get both sitting bones down, literally your butt cheeks, left sitting bone, right sitting bone, and then start to twist yourself towards the left. You can take your right tricep to the outside of that left thigh bone, no matter where that left foot is on the right thigh or in front of your shin. Find your twist. Some of you are able to place both hands down into the floor and lift up even taller. Some of you were not struggling. Remember, no struggling. Maybe it's that left tricep isn't happening. You need to hold with your elbow crease. So you decide how to sit up tall, and then that left arm could support you behind you as you find your twist. So no matter where you are in your twist, close your eyes and move your face around for 5. For 4, get right into the belly flush. For 3, there it is. For 2, good. And then in breath all the way to center. Take that left leg out, take your right leg out. You've got it. And I'm just going to do sideways again. This time, take your fingers away. Did I say away last time too? Yeah, away from you. Pop the chest up. Ooh, there it is. Walk your feet far enough away from you so your chest is lifted, your neck is neutral. Let your right knee externally rotate. Take your right foot and plant it on top of the left thigh and pop that chest up again. So if you need to slip your left leg out further, please do. So from here, just a little windshield wipe. Oh, a little crankiness in the hips today. Yeah. Woo. So from here, when you're ready, let's land that right foot all the way towards the left. Pick yourself up. Reassess that left foot in and find your right sitting bone. Hold that left knee so you're sitting up nice and tall. And if that left foot needs to go in front of your right shin just to accommodate boobies and belly, please do. When you're ready, let's take that left arm and lasso it around your right knee crease or the tricep, but that right arm reaches back and you find a way to get your roots of your hands or your tricep to twist. So you're using your arms to press statically so that you could twist in your abdomen. So find your twist, whatever that looks like for you, okay? So find your twist. Oh, cranky doodle. Open up your heart. Oh, breathe that breath. So a lot of us, when we're in our goddess pose, that mobility in our goddess pose was stuck in the thoracic spine. So lift your sternum and find your twist. So it takes that. Ooh, crack. There we go. Notice what you notice. Close your eyes for another 5, 4. Keep those 4 points of your right foot down no matter where it is in position, especially through the big ball mound. 2. Oh, roll the shoulders back. And when you're ready to unwind, bring that right leg out in front, pick up the left leg, find and teeter on the front of your sitting bones, draw your knees wide apart, pop your chest forward, and find that connection there. Good. So right here, I know that the goddess pose work was really challenging, but I'd like us to continue to work in the flexors and extensors of the hips. So now, note, we're going to lay onto the belly. So I'm going to swing my legs to the back of this mat and come directly onto the tummy, taking my forearms in front of my shoulders, so I'm in a sphinx position, and just take a moment just to steady up onto your pubis. Put a blanket across your pubis if need be. Take the right forearm a little ahead, left arm at a right angle to the left. Plant or flex your right foot and slide the left knee off your mat and then kick out that left foot a little bit more. So this is the goddess leg stuff that we're working on, okay? So from here, press into your right forearm so you can lift your right breast up so that you're not dumping into your neck, so you're lifting yourself up. Open up through that left arm if that's available, or keep that left hand down. If you find that your inner right knee is not feeling comfortable on the floor, the option is to always have a blanket. I think I'm going to have a cough in a second. Hold on. Excuse me. So with that knee on a blanket for support, so you're not digging into your inner knees and getting like a big bruise there. Open up your chest. Feel what you're feeling. Good. See if you can express that left knee a little bit more, kick out that left foot. And then we're going to land on our tummy, stack our hands, and let your forehead land and just breathe. Just like that. I'm going to have a Ricola. So those goddess legs, those externally rotated inner thighs are happening right now in a position of restore. Might not be that easy for some of you. So feel the breath. Hide my little wrapper. Excuse me. So from here, that right leg is straight back for now, but let's bend that right knee and play around with it. So even while you're resting on your chest, can you swirl that right leg around? Make sure your head's rested. Mine's just up because I'm talking to you. Oh, feel all that stuff, that magic. Good. Whew. And then I'd like to invite that we pick ourselves back up onto our forearms. And then if it's available to reach that left arm back, and then maybe that left hand can grab your right heel, keeping your chest open, or plantar flex that right foot and sandwich it towards your bum, depending on where you're at. Or that left hand stays on the floor, excuse me, and you're finding that scorpion tail for 5, wherever you are, for 4. This is all about processing your stuff, the shape that you need to be in for you today, for 3, for 2. Good. And then land your left forearm and extend that left leg back. Stay up on your forearms unless you need to take a breather on your lower back. Heels towards your bum, little windshield wipe. Because we're going to go right into the other side. So from here, with your forearms, come back up onto your forearms if you slid down onto your belly. If you need to stay there longer, stay there longer. Move everything out of the way so that you can slide your right knee out. Oh, that side's cranky. Press your right toes out. Make sure there's nothing invading your space so you cannot go a little further into your full shape. Remember, these are your shapes. They're nobody else's shape. Do not even compare yourself to if you're practicing in the house with someone else. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to you. Right arm at a right angle. Left elbow is slightly ahead, so you're opening up your chest out of your left shoulder. You're feeling the length of that left hip. Left hip flexor is fully extended. You're like, whoa, check that one out. Breathe your breath. Notice what you're noticing. And if that right arm wants to come up and you're able to move it around, maybe it just holds your hip. Maybe it stays on the floor. You want to open up your chest, move your jaw around. Keep that left shoulder externally rotated. Good. And then when you're ready to dismantle and just slowly smooth out onto your belly, this is where you can rest. Feel what you're feeling. And maybe it's not a rest. Maybe you really feel the hip flexors on that right leg. Left leg, I mean. Excuse me, I'm still going through that cold series. And then maybe you could bring that left heel towards your bum as you come back up onto your right fingertips and open up your chest as you bring that left heel towards your bum. And maybe you're able to open up and maybe that, and I say maybe all the time because it's a maybe. I don't know what you're doing. So maybe that left arm or right arm can hold that left heel and bring it in a plantar flexion. Keep your left shoulder rolling back. Keep your chest broad. Remember, we're not pushing anything. We're inviting movement. What feels good to you? What exploration can you take? What are you feeling today? Oh, there it is. Good. 3 more breaths wherever you are. Oh, I could feel that one today. And then when you're ready to dismantle, yes, you're going to dismantle and then slide that right leg back and just give your legs a little windshield wipe from side to side. Just like that, just a little break. Good. And then from here, let's slide our hands as we just hover our face towards the mat. Slide your hands to your lowest ribs. Wrists extended, fingers facing towards your armpits. Curl your toes under into the mat. Adjust your knees into the mat so your pubis lifts up. Lift the front of your shoulders. Press hands, knees, and toes as you lift your hips up. Lift your hips up. Good. Plantar flex your feet. Sit back onto your shins and take a deep breath in and out here. Right into the belly flush. Thank God for Ricolas. Oh, let it all out, let it all out. Good, that's it. Now let's sit our bums down onto the mat. You could sit on a bolster or a blanket if that feels good to you. We're not done yet though. Don't look at the time. Park your legs out in front of you first of all, and then take your right heel in and then your left heel out in front. Take a moment to sit up nice and tall. We did a lot of hip stuff. Take your right arm up towards the sky, lean it back, and then wrap that right hand to the left knee, lean towards the right and reach the left arm up and out and find your twist. So again, twisting, big part of detoxing. Take that left hand down onto the floor or on a block behind you and find your twist for 5. Keep on ringing it out for 4, for 3, 2, where'd my Tyson go? And then inhale, come all the way to center. Good. Switch out your shins, left heel towards your perineum, right shin out in front. Take your left arm up towards the sky, yawn it open, and then sweep it over towards your right knee. Reach your right arm up as you lean towards the left. Open up, invite that twist, landing your right hand somewhere behind you on a block, bolster, or on the floor, and then invite that twist in your abdomen. So I like to straighten my arms and lean towards the left hip, but keep my right sitting bone down. And then even in that twist in my abdomen, I can move my face around. Some of you may be able to take that right hand inside your left thigh if you're that flexible in your upper thoracic spine. You do you. Close your eyes and feel your twist for 5, for 4. You just let it go. 3, for 2. Good. And then invite yourself all the way up to center. Lean back, shake out both legs. Then find the non-habitual seat, the one that doesn't often, you don't often go into, that's uncomfortable. And then let's go back into thumbs into the palm of the hand, wrap your fingers around. Oh, I didn't do that one in this episode. Anyways, this is a great one. So thumb is fire and all the other fingers are the ether, the water, the earth, and air. Wrap them around, inhale nice and bright, and then exhale, go. Inhale bright, and go. 3 more of those. Let it out. Let it out. Find your way to release some of this stuff. Another one. Oh, good. Then bring your hands together in union. The sound of Om. A-O-M. About 7 counts per syllable. It's the universal sound. And it's almost like if you look at the figure 8, the universe, God as you know it, wanted to see itself and experience itself. So it turned and twisted itself and created the other version. And at the very center of that is our experience. So the sound of A-O-M, the beginning, middle, and end, and we're always, most often, no always, at the beginning again. So let us begin today to really reevaluate the beauty with gratitude that you are here today. Less is more, processing stuff, being present, not hurting and not pushing yourself. Let's end with that beautiful deep breath in. May you feel the reality, the sovereign self, the ascension of your being as you face in each day and each moment all parts of you. Do not be afraid. Sit with yourself. Be with yourself. Explore. No pushing, no shoving, just being absolutely authentic, real, and kind. From my light to your light, until the next episodes, please, I thank you. And if you have anything you want to communicate, feel free to email me at info@teresagagno.com. I am here for you. Have a fantastical inner thigh pelvic day. Namaste. Oh, I'm already feeling those. Slow it down. Okay.